Why do people cheat in their marriages? To answer this question fully, we must step far beyond blame or betrayal. We must walk through psychology, biology, philosophy, even spirituality. Because infidelity isn't just about sex. It is about the human condition, and understanding it requires brutal honesty. Let us begin with the psychological. Cheating often starts not in the body, but in the mind. Many people step outside their marriages not because they no longer love their partner, but because they no longer feel seen. When attention fades, when appreciation turns into routine, the ego begins to starve. And what does a starving ego do? It searches for food elsewhere. Sometimes in admiration, sometimes in validation, sometimes in silence. But here's a deeper truth. People don't always cheat because something is wrong with their partner. They cheat because something is unaddressed within themselves. They are escaping, not a person, but a feeling. Boredom, inadequacy, invisibility. This is the psychological root. Cheating becomes a misguided solution to an internal problem. Now, the biological. Human beings evolved in tribal groups. For thousands of years, monogamy was more a societal construct than a natural instinct. The human brain is wired for attachment, yes, but also for novelty. The hormone dopamine, which fuels desire and reward, spikes when something feels new. This is why affairs often feel alive. The brain mistakes danger and secrecy for passion. But biology is not an excuse. It is simply an explanation. Just because a desire is natural doesn't mean it should be obeyed. Growth means learning to sit with your urges instead of being ruled by them. Now let's speak practically. Sometimes people cheat because their marriages are already fractured. The communication is broken. Intimacy is gone. Years of unresolved pain pile up like dust under a rug. Instead of sweeping it out, people walk away from the mess, into the arms of someone else. It feels easier, cleaner, but it's not. In many cases, cheating is not about finding someone better. It's about finding someone who reflects back a version of you that you miss. Affairs often resurrect a person's forgotten self, youthful, desired, powerful. It's not just about escaping your partner. It's about escaping the version of you that marriage made you forget. Now let's turn to the philosophical. Marriage is a promise, not just of love, but of effort. When people cheat, they break more than vows. They break timelines, trust, and shared dreams. Why? Because they begin to believe that their personal happiness is more sacred than their shared commitment. This is where our modern culture plays a role. The idea of you deserve to be happy has become a dangerous half-truth. Yes, you deserve joy, but not at the cost of integrity. True happiness is not about avoiding pain or chasing excitement. It's about confronting discomfort with courage. Growth is not always thrilling. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's hard, but that's what makes it real. Now, the spiritual. When someone cheats, it often means they've disconnected from their inner self. The soul knows the truth. The soul knows loyalty, discipline, sacredness. But when the ego gets louder than the soul, betrayal follows. Spiritually, infidelity is a form of forgetting who you promised to be, and forgetting what love really is. Love is not a constant feeling. It is a daily choice. It is watering the same plant even when the flowers are not in bloom. Affairs often happen because people stop choosing love, thinking it should maintain itself. But everything sacred requires maintenance. Now let's ask, why do some people not cheat? Because they understand that the strongest desire is not to chase what's new, but to build what lasts. They choose to confront dissatisfaction within the relationship rather than escape it. They have hard conversations. They choose accountability over pleasure. They remember that loyalty is not a burden, it's a gift. A mirror that shows you your highest self. So why do people cheat in their marriages? Because they are lonely, because they are confused, because they are impulsive, because they are seeking something they think is missing, without realizing it must first be found within. Because ultimately, they are human. But being human does not mean being helpless. Awareness is the first step to strength. And in that awareness lies a truth that can save relationships. When you feel the urge to cheat, pause. Look not outward, but inward. What are you truly seeking? And can you find it through courage, not secrecy? Through effort, not escape? Because the greatest intimacy isn't built in candlelight. It's built in conversations, in choices, in the silent, consistent decision to stay when leaving seems easier. That is love. That is strength. That is the truth. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about humans.